Good, happy Tuesday morning, December 21st, 2021. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Tuesday morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Tuesday morning, so let's get started right now. First up, New Hampshire child died of complications related to COVID-19, health officials announced. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 rated reliability of
There have been hundreds of deaths in children across the country. New Hampshire has been fortunate throughout much of this pandemic.
But now a grim milestone as the first child from the Granite State, just 11 years old or younger, died from COVID-related complications in September. According to health officials, they were identified after COVID-19 was listed as a cause of death on the death certificate, which was just finalized. State epidemiologist Dr. Benjamin Chan says the risk has always been looming.
Anybody can become infected with COVID-19. The vast majority of people, particularly children, teenagers, younger adults, will only have mild symptoms. And it's always hard to predict who's going to go on to develop more serious disease.
Right now, DHHS reports 25 to 30% of new cases in New Hampshire are in children under the age of 18. Doctors say vaccination rates play a big role in the numbers.
Kids are vaccinated at a much lower rate than the adult population is at this point as well. It's not been available for as long, and not as many kids are even eligible.
For kids who have the virus, health experts give these symptoms of concern: a high fever that won't go away and trouble breathing. They encourage everyone 5 and up to get the shot, and for people 16 and older to get boosted.
It requires people taking the necessary steps to protect themselves and to protect others.
Now, Dr. Chan says a majority of people who have died of COVID-19 in the state have been 65 or older with chronic conditions, putting them more at risk for the virus. Live in Concord, Grace Feinerman, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. New Hampshire doctors outline guidance for families as COVID-19 cases rise in school children. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Well, winter's here. So what? Mahindra, the official tractor of tough, doesn't slow down.
As New Hampshire deals with this winter surge, COVID cases in some schools have been a challenge to manage, and certain school districts may vary on their recommendations about school exposure.
And unfortunately, it is going through our schools. Things are getting worse, and that we should be a little bit more careful about how the kids exposed.
Family physician Dr. Robert Kerbach says the CDC guidance remains a 10-day quarantine for an unvaccinated close contact.
If they're a close contact and they haven't been vaccinated, that's an easy one. They should quarantine.
But now that more children are getting their first and even second doses of the vaccine, the rules are relaxed for those cases.
If they have been vaccinated, I think as long as they take precautions with masks, they probably don't have to be isolated.
Some schools are also offering test-to-stay programs, allowing students who have been deemed close contacts to continue to come to school as long as they have daily rapid tests come back negative.
If the schools have the resources and the logistical capabilities to perform tests to stay, that is a good option for your children.
However, both doctors agree that the best option to keep your kids healthy and in school is to have them vaccinated.
But you still get up to 1/3 of people who aren't vaccinated, and they will get it, and they won't carry it asymptomatically. They will get sick from it.
Kids 5 and older are eligible for the vaccine. The vaccine is safe and effective, and it's one of the best tools that we have to keep your kids healthy and also keep them in school.
I'm Nicole Lally, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. 7 new COVID-19 deaths announced by New Hampshire officials. The number for active cases and active hospitalizations drop. COVID-19 testing demand in New Hampshire expected to remain high after holiday season. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 rated reliability of...
In Nashua, a steady stream of cars moving through the parking lot at 261 Lake Street with people showing up for COVID-19 testing.
The increase in demand for testing has been ongoing.
DHHS says over the past week, the state has been receiving about 9,000 COVID-19 tests per day, PCR and antigen tests combined. The positivity rate is about 13%. They say labs doing PCR tests report a 1 or 2 day turnaround from when they receive a specimen.
We definitely know there's an increase because we're getting results later and later because the labs are overwhelmed.
Nashua Public Health is urging everyone to get tested before holiday gatherings and when they return from get-togethers.
But you also want people to get tested afterwards because then when they come back from their holidays, you've got schools that you have to be concerned about and you've got workplaces that you have to be concerned about.
Convenient MD's president and chief medical officer tells News 9 they're getting ready for a higher demand for testing after the holidays.
Coupling the Omicron variant with other respiratory viruses, we see an increased need for testing lasting through the late winter to early spring months.
Right now, they're in the planning stages of exactly how to meet the demand.
We feel we do have methods that we will be able to meet that need, and we'll start to see them roll out in early January.
And when it comes to getting test results back, Convenient MD says they are not seeing a lag in getting those results back because they go ahead and conduct and process their own tests. Live in Manchester, Jessica Moran, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Holiday shipping delays could lead to longer wait times for at-home COVID-19 PCR test results. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 rated reliability of...
That's right, Monica. Before you order your test kit, you'll want to make sure that shipping won't be an issue because some companies say samples will expire if not received to the lab in time. That is not the case with Vault Health, the company that supplies COVID-19 PCR test kits to New Hampshire residents for free. We spoke with the company's CEO this afternoon, and he says you can ship your test sample back to the lab right up until Friday, and the sample you send back is good for more than a month. Other suppliers list blackout shipping times around the holidays and recommend not testing during specific dates. Vault Health says their home PCR test is 99% accurate and results are available usually within 24 hours.
But every other day around Christmas, except for Sunday, will be fine. There will be no delays. And so if anybody is taking a test in preparation for Christmas, they should get that test back to the lab on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. That will still receive overnight, and then we will get those results back.
Now, if you are interested in a free test from Vault Health, they say there's no issue with availability, but they do suggest you plan ahead, maybe even order one just to have on hand for when you do need it. Jason King, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Investigators identify woman found dead after camper catches fire in Manchester. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need the #1 rated...
It was a big scene last night.
Incredible video of flames lighting up the night sky in Manchester. Kenneth Nelson says he could see smoke from his apartment window, and Manchester police already on scene.
Saw one of the officers, he ran down the street with a fire extinguisher.
Another eyewitness tells News 9 a man ran out of the RV barefoot and was seen talking with police. But after the flames were out, crews made a grim discovery.
We were able to identify one female victim that was in the rear of the trailer.
We counted at least 6 propane tanks inside the burned out Airstream. The state fire marshal says one of those tanks had a portable heater on top of it.
We don't know exactly if that's the cause at this point, but we do know there was heating equipment being used. The camper had no other source of heat from what we could tell, so that is a very likely cause of the fire.
Several neighbors tell News 9 they are familiar with this RV and have called police to complain.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You know, it's sad, and it's just unreal, you know, that this happened.
Heating still remains the number one cause of fires in New Hampshire, and as we come into the cold season, and we want to focus on reminding people to keep combustible away from the heating equipment.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that did it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for watching and tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, and see you back here later on today for another newscast. Goodbye, everyone.